Hello everyone. I was asked by the coordination department that I spend a bit of time making sure that everyone understands how to use an application on your mobile devices, on your cell phones and tablets that will allow you to capture work that you've done by hand and submit that in digital form in Google Classroom. And that application is called CamScanner, and I think a number of you have used it already, but bear with me because there may be some features that you don't know how to use. Even if you think you know how to use it, I'm sure there's something that that you will get from this that may benefit you. I'm also going to talk about a known issue that iOS devices have. If you have an iPhone or iPad, you may not be able to upload or share your documents directly into Google Classroom, but there is a workaround which I'm going to discuss, and yes, some of you may know one way to do it, but there is another way as well that I think may be even better than the way that a lot of you guys are using it. So I'm going to go ahead and open my phone, and you can see that I have an Apple iPhone, so I'm going to open the App Store and I'm going to click on the Find and type in CamScanner. Right, this is the one that we're using right here, CamScanner, and it is available for both iOS and Android devices. So if you need it, you can use it with both platforms. So now again, I've already installed it on mine, so I will click open. This is the symbol. It should be a black background with a white CS in front of it and a green stripe on the bottom. If you ever see this is a free app, but it has in-app purchases, which means you can pay for certain premium features. The school does not recommend that you do that. We don't want any accidents to happen. If we don't want your parents to accidentally have their credit card bills run up because you guys accidentally subscribed to a premium service. You don't need to do that. All you need to do, if you see this unlock all features screen come up, is just click on the X underneath it like this, and that goes away. Right? So you don't have to do that. You do not have to subscribe. You can do it. It's almost fully functioning without paying for anything. Right? There's a few premium features that you could get, but you don't need those, especially not for school. Right? So first thing, if you want to do a scan, you have to click on the big at the bottom there, the big camera icon. So I click that, and I'm going to bring my book right underneath it. And if I get rid of the shadow, make sure there's no shadows on your surface. The other thing you should do, guys, is this icon up top here, the one that looks like a lightning bolt with a slash through it in my case. Click that and make sure this is the flash, right? Make sure that this is turned to off. If it's not, right, I click on off. If it's not turned to off, then you can get a really ugly glare right in the middle of your page, and if teachers can't read what you've done, you may end up in a situation where you're not getting credit for something that you've done. They may ask you to resubmit it, or worst case, they may not accept it. So make sure that your flash is off and everything should be okay. So I'm gonna sort of angle this roughly so that it's all being displayed in my screen. I'm gonna actually click on the screen. I'm gonna touch the screen to focus it, and I'm going to press, again, the camera icon at the bottom to take my picture. And after I've done that, CamScanner kind of guesses as to where it thinks the boundaries of the page are. Usually it's pretty good. If it's not quite exact, you can always move it by grabbing the center of the border. Or if you want to change the corners, you can change each corner individually as well. And it kind of snaps in. If you've made a mistake or whatever, you can click auto, and you can either make the whole screen get taken, or you can click auto again and it will bring it back. That's actually pretty good. I'm going to leave it at that. It did a good job this time. And if you have your camera kind of angled in a different way, you can always rotate that left or right and end up getting the correct orientation. So I'm going to scan that, and as you can see, it looks actually pretty good. It looks black and white. It's not in gray. If you don't like how it looks, or if there's a different effect that you want, you can choose one of these other options here, either original, lighten. Magic color is the default, the one that you usually would use. That's the one I recommend using. But there are other ones as well, black and white 2, and grayscale. If for some reason a picture doesn't show up properly, you can always use a different option there. Now, I'm going to show you some of the tools at the bottom. The first one is the smudge tool, which is the one, it's the fourth one over. I'm going to show you the fourth one over first, because this one is kind of useful, and you may not know how to use this. So the smudge tool works, basically it actually takes away some of the stains and some of the unwanted things in your page. So you can adjust using the slider, you can adjust the width of the tool itself, and after you've adjusted it, all you need to do is paint on the corners and anywhere else that you see a discoloration, and it's not working as well as I was hoping. There we go. So now I can erase that. Right? If you make a mistake, you don't like what you've erased too much. So let's say I cut in here by mistake. If I do that, then I can undo that, right, and undo my last action. But I'm actually happy with that. I'm gonna do the same thing to both corners, and you can maybe clean up some of this on the side here as well. You don't have to go too crazy, but you can do that if you want. If you want to kind of make it look a little bit nicer. I might just leave that as it is. And if you ever do make a mistake, if you go too far in, you can use the eraser tool as well, and either clear all, which undoes what it basically brings it back to its original form, or what in my case here, I think I went a little too far. I'm going to bring this back because it looks a little bit too distorted. So I'm going to move this here, bring this back, use my eraser tool to do that, and there. So that looks roughly the way I want it. That's just about perfect. Okay, so I save that. So now my corners look a little better. The other things you can do, you can obviously rotate as well with this screen here. If it's not the way you want it, you can add text, right? So if you want to add a title to it, for instance, you can type in whatever your title is, and after you do that, you can change the color of it, right? You can go all the way over here. This moves back and forth. So if you want to change it to a I don't know, a fuchsia color, or I don't know what color is that. I think that's fuchsia. You can do that, and you can move the title around, right, with touch, with your hand, with your finger. And after, I'm not going to save that, but if you wanted to save it, you just press save. Signature is obviously anything you see with a crown, with the circle, with a gold circle and a white crown in the foreground. That does not mean the coronavirus. That means it's a premium feature, and that's what you pay for the. If you want a subscription and you pay for that, that's what will be unlocked. Again, I don't recommend that. You certainly don't need to do that for anything in school. You don't need to do a signature. Annotation allows you to do a couple things. The first one on the left here is a pen, and so you can change the width of the pen, change the color, right? I'm going to leave it at red on red, and you can, write something in here. I was trying to say hi, but it doesn't look like my handwriting is very legible. There we go. There, something like that. If you erase, if you don't like what you've done, you can erase it or clear all, right? And this looks a little bit, do it like this. The other thing you can do, I'm going to actually clear all in this case. The other thing you can do is change it from a pen, which is what we're just using on the left, to a highlighter, which is the one in yellow. And again, you can change the thickness here, and you can also change the color if you want. I'm going to leave it on yellow, and I'm just going to highlight this title here and just move that around here so it looks okay. Again, if you mess up a little bit, you can click the eraser and just erase the part that you didn't highlight properly. or undo it if you accidentally did something too far. You can just undo the last step by pressing undo or redo. I'm not going to save that again, but you would just normally press save to save it. And the last one is to text, which is the optical character recognition feature, the OCR feature, and that uses artificial intelligence to recognize the letters on the page, right? To put it into words, to make it into a text document rather than just a picture. That way you can search for things, search for certain words, and you can copy and paste words as opposed to just copying and pasting a picture. And this, I think you're allowed, you start with 6 free optical character recognition scans. I have 4 left, and after that, then you have to again use the paid service. But again, this is not something that you would normally need to use for school. You're just using this to upload a document that you've made typically. And the OCR, the optical character recognition, typically doesn't work for handwritten documents. It works for typed or professionally printed documents, such as a book or some kind of like a magazine or a text, some kind of a professionally printed document. So you probably won't need that either. And after you do that, you click the big checkbox on the bottom right-hand side to let CamScanner know you're ready. And you press the share button right in the middle, typically. And this is where you would share it. Now, Android users can share this directly to Google Classroom. And I actually heard a rumor that the iOS devices can now as well. I haven't verified that. I don't know if that's been fixed. Previously you could not. There was something preventing you from doing that. Now, you can save it to files. That is one thing that you can do, but there's actually a better way that I recommend. This goes for both Android and for iOS devices, and that is to use Google Drive. Right? So there's a chance you can use Classroom directly if you want, but I recommend using Drive, and I'll show you why in a second. There's actually 2 reasons. The first is, and you have to choose which account that you want to save it to. I would highly suggest, in fact you have to, save it to your Colegio Lumen account. If you don't do that, then you're going to have issues. Your teacher will need permission to see it, and it'll be a big mess. So choose your Colegio Lumen account. And you can change the name of it. I forgot to show you how to do that, but you can change the name of it before you do that, and your teacher will then have a proper title for your assignment. And you can select a folder and do whatever you like. I'm just going to save it to my drive. That's good enough. You can save it to whatever drive you'd like. And once you do, you press upload, and it uploads it. And then you now have your file in Google Drive, and you can use it. Now you can actually go to your assignment, and I will pull up an example of that really fast. As you can see here, and this is just an example assignment, but if you go to your work in the assignment page and you click add or create the way you normally do, and select Google Drive from the drop-down menu, then you can find where you've saved your file, and it should be in, it will be in recent most likely, but you can also look for it. And here's my CamScanner document right here. I click it, and you can click insert at the bottom, which is hidden by my picture here, but you can double click it or click insert, and there it is. So my CamScanner document is now attached, and I can submit it. And that's all there is to it. That's how you submit a CamScan document. I didn't show you how to change the name. You can do that in the following way. The simplest way you can do that is to simply click on the title and change it. So it's always a good idea to put your name on things. It makes it a lot easier for teachers to mark it and to record your grade properly. So that's generally a good idea. I'm going to put my Spanish alias on here, Roberto Joven, and I'm going to say assignment number 1 or whatever assignment it is. Sometimes you might want to put the assignment title. Maybe if it's a computer science essay, just type that in and make sure that it's spelt correctly. Right, so that's one way to do it. The other way to do it is to click the gear icon on the top right up here, and that you can change your name, change the name of the file up here as well. And in addition to that, you can also change the PDF direction, the orientation, whether you want it portrait or landscape. Usually you should leave it the way it is. It depends. If you've taken your picture properly, then that's probably the way it should be. It should be left. And you can also change the size of the page as well. You would normally only do that if you're printing. And the same thing really with the orientation. You would only need to change that if you have to print the document later on. But in this case, you're going to be submitting it digitally, so you don't really need to do that. And I would just leave everything the same as it was, except you may want to change the name if it isn't changed already. And that should be it. You should do this. Change the name, by the way, before you submit it. That's what you should do. Change the name, make sure it's correct, then submit it, upload it to Google Drive, then submit it to your assignment page. Turn it in as an assignment from your Google Drive. Anyway, that's it for now. Hope this is clear. If not, you can always email me with any questions. And we'll see everyone in class. Bye for now.